She vanished without a trace, just minutes before police arrived. No phone, no ID, no footprints. Just a locked car in the snow, and silence. This is the unsolved disappearance of Maura Murray. Maura Murray was a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Smart, driven, a former West Point cadet, star runner. She was focused on her future, close to her family, and had just finished the fall semester. But something shifted in January of 2004. She got in trouble for using a credit card number that wasn't hers to order food. The small amount, under $80. A disciplinary hearing was pending. Her family downplayed it, saying it wasn't serious. Still, it added to what seemed like mounting stress. And then, something strange happened at work. On February 5th, Maura was working her campus security job when she received a phone call. No one knows what was said, but a coworker said Maura broke down crying and was completely zoned out. When asked what was wrong, she simply replied, "My sister." But her sister, Kathleen, later said they hadn't argued. They just had a tough, emotional talk. Whatever the call was, it clearly rattled Maura deeply. Over the weekend, Maura searched for directions to Burlington, Vermont. She also looked up lodging in New Hampshire and the Berkshires. To most, that might suggest a road trip, a quick escape or time alone. On Monday, February 9th, Maura emailed her professors, saying she had a death in the family and wouldn't be in class that week. There was no death. She withdrew $280 from an ATM, nearly all her available funds. She bought alcohol from a nearby liquor store, including wine, Baileys, and vodka. Then, she stopped at the DMV to pick up accident forms, related to a previous car crash she'd had a few days earlier. That same day, she packed some clothes, school books, makeup, birth control, and her favorite stuffed animal. She even emailed her boyfriend, a West Point cadet, saying she loved him and would call later. Then, around 7:25 p.m., she left campus in her black 1996 Saturn. At 7:27 p.m., just 2 minutes later, the car crashed into a snowbank off Route 112 in Woodsville, New Hampshire. That's over 100 miles from UMass Amherst. A witness, Butch Atwood, a local school bus driver, lived nearby. He stopped and spoke with her briefly. Maura said she had already called AAA, but there was no cell service in the area. Atwood offered help. She declined. He drove home and called 911 at 7:43 p.m. Police arrived at 7:46 p.m. Maura was already gone. Her car was found locked, airbags deployed, windshield cracked. Inside the vehicle, her AAA card, bottles of alcohol, some open, one possibly missing, a box of wine, some makeup, and textbooks, a rag stuffed into the tailpipe, some believed to muffle noise or due to car trouble. Missing, her phone, wallet, credit cards, and Maura. There were no footprints in the snow, no blood, no sign of struggle, just a car, abandoned on a cold, dark road. That night, local police launched a search. Within 36 hours, scent tracking dogs, helicopters with heat sensors, and over 100 people were on the ground. A scent trail led 100 yards down the road, then stopped. Some believe she got into another vehicle. Others think the scent trail was contaminated or interrupted. Authorities drained a nearby pond. Searchers checked abandoned buildings and cabins. Cadaver dogs, divers, and drones would be used in later years, all finding nothing conclusive. The FBI was eventually involved, but jurisdictional confusion between local, state, and federal agencies slowed progress. Many criticized the early handling of the scene. No official search dogs were brought in until 36 hours later. Several details from the night Maura vanished have continued to fuel speculation over the years. For example, a rag was found stuffed into the tailpipe of her car. While some saw this as suspicious, Maura's father later explained that he had taught her to do that as a temporary fix for car trouble, a way to manage exhaust issues. Police also found printed MapQuest directions to Burlington, Vermont in her vehicle. But where she crashed, on Route 112 in Woodsville, New Hampshire, was far off course from that route. It's unclear why she would end up there. There was alcohol in the car, bottles of Bailey's, vodka, and wine. But one bottle appeared to be missing. That raised the question, did she carry it with her when she left the scene? Or was someone else involved? After her disappearance, there was no further activity on Maura's bank account, email, or phone records. Not a single login, withdrawal, or call. Her cell phone was never recovered. And to this day, there has never been a confirmed GPS ping or signal from it after the crash. Theories began to take shape, each one as haunting as the last. Some believe Maura planned her disappearance from the start. Maura withdrew nearly all the money from her account, emptied personal belongings from her dorm, and sent vague emails suggesting she'd be gone for several days. Some believe she was trying to escape, from school, from mounting stress, or from something else entirely. But if she planned to vanish, why would she leave behind essentials like her ID, her cell phone, and even her favorite childhood stuffed animal? Would someone really abandon everything they cared about to start over, without any preparation? Another theory suggests Maura may have been abducted. Multiple witnesses reported seeing a red pickup truck in the area around the time Maura's car crashed. Some even claimed they saw a man walking near the crash site shortly after she disappeared. This theory suggests that Maura may have accepted a ride, and that whoever picked her up had other intentions. Another possibility is that Maura, disoriented and possibly under the influence, wandered into the woods in freezing temperatures and succumbed to the elements. But 2 decades later, no trace of her has ever been found. Not her body, not her clothing, not even footprints in the snow. If it was an accident, why has nothing turned up? Lastly, some suspect foul play, possibly by someone she knew. There were rumors of issues in her personal life. Some point to stress in her relationship with her boyfriend, or even the possibility that she planned to meet another person that night, someone she trusted. Online investigators and amateur sleuths have long wondered if she arranged to meet someone and things took a tragic turn. Could she have been lured into a trap by someone familiar? In 2021, bone fragments were discovered near Loon Mountain, New Hampshire, about 25 miles from where Maura vanished. After testing, authorities announced the remains were not hers. In 2023, a new search was conducted near a marsh close to the original crash site, based on a potential lead. Nothing was recovered. Maura's family continues to fight. They've set up websites, offered rewards, and worked with investigative journalists and podcasts. Her father, Fred Murray, has remained one of the most vocal advocates for justice, pushing for transparency and continued searches. Maura's case remains one of the most mysterious disappearances in American true crime. There's no clear suspect, no confirmed timeline, no body, no closure. A young woman, smart, resourceful, full of potential, simply vanished. One moment she was there, the next, nothing. No phone, no ID, no goodbye. Just snow, quiet road, and a question that still echoes 2 decades later. What do you think happened to Maura Murray? Did she walk away from her life? Or did someone take her? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read all of them. If you want more haunting cold cases, disturbing disappearances, and mysteries that stay with you long after the screen fades to black, subscribe to Spectre Archives. We'll be watching the dark, so you don't have to.